Okay, I'm live. So, cool. Yesterday's the next day, or the seventh day. Starting out in 25. My room's so cold. I'm gonna turn the fan real quick. Okay. Chapter 25. Abraham's other wife and sons. Abraham had taken another wife whose name was Keturah, and she bore him Simran, Jokshan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shuah. Jokshan fathered Sheba and Dedan. Dedan's sons were the Shuram, Teshum, and Leumim, and Midian's sons were Epher, Hanok, Abida, and Alada. All these were sons of Keturah. Abraham gave everything he owed to Isaac, everything he owned, not owed. But Abraham gave gifts to the sons of the concubines, and while he was still alive, he sent them eastward, away from the son of Isaac to the land of the east. Alright, a minute. I'm going to try to read a little fast. This is the length of Abraham's life, 175 years. He took his last breath and died at a good old age, old and contented, and he was gathered to his people. His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in a cave of Machpelah near Mamre, in the field of Ephron, son of Zohar the Hethite. This is the field that Abraham bought from the Hethites. Abraham was buried there with his wife Sarah. After Abraham's death, God blessed his son Isaac, who lived near Beer Lahai Roi. Ishmael's family records. These are the family records. I'm saying records. Records of Abraham's sons Ishmael, who Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's slave, bore to Abraham. These are the names of Ishmael's sons, their names according to the family records of Nebaioth, Ishmael's firstborn. Then Keter, Adbeel, Mibzam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Jeter, Nappish, and Kedema. These are Ishmael's sons, and these are their names by the settlement and encampments, 12 leaders of their clans. This is the length of Ishmael's life, 137 years. He took his last breath and died, and was gathered by his people, and they settled from Havilah to Shur, which is opposite Egypt as you go toward Ashur. He stayed near all his relatives. The birth of Jacob and Esau. How do you say it? These are the family records of Isaac's sons, Abraham. Abraham fathered Isaac. Isaac was 40 when he took his wife Rebecca. Took as his wife Rebecca, daughter of Bethuel and Aramean, from Padan Aram, and a sister of Laban the Aramean. Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because he was childless. The Lord was receptive to his prayer, and the wife Rebecca conceived. But the children inside her struggled with each other, and she said, "Why is this happening to me?" So she went to inquire with the Lord. The Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb. Two people will come from you and be separated. One will be stronger than the other. The older will serve the younger." When her time came to give birth, there were indeed twins in the womb. The first one came out red-looking, covered with hair like a fur coat. They named him Esau. Oh, that makes more sense. After his brother came out grasping Esau's heel with his hand, so he was named Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when they were born. Esau sells his birthright. When the boys grew up, Esau became expert hunter and outdoorsman, but Jacob was a quiet man who stayed at home. Isaac loved Esau because he had a taste for wild game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Once, when Jacob was cooking stew, Esau came in from the field exhausted. He said to Jacob, "Let me eat some of that red stuff because I'm exhausted." That's why he was also named Edom. Jacob replied, "First show me your birthright." "Look," said Esau, "I'm about to die, so what good is the birthright to me?" Jacob said, "Swear it to me first." So he swore to Jacob and sold his birthright to him. Then Jacob gave bread and lentil stew to Esau, and he ate, drank, got up, and went away. So Esau despised his birthright. The promise reaffirmed to Isaac. There was another famine in the land, uh, in addition to the one that had occurred in Abraham's time. And Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, at Gerar. The Lord appeared to him and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land that I tell you about. Stay in this land as an alien, and I will be with you and bless you. For I will give you all these lands to you and offspring, and I will confirm an oath that I swore to your father Abraham. I'll make your offspring as numerous as the stars of the sky. I'll give your offspring all these lands. All the nations of the earth will be blessed by your offspring. Because Abraham listened to me and kept my mandate, my commands, my statutes, and my instructions." So Isaac settled in Gerar. Isaac's deception. When a man of the place asked about his wife, he said, "She is my sister." For he was afraid to say, "My wife," thinking the men of the place will kill me on account of Rebekah, for she is a beautiful woman, who sings just like his dad. When Isaac had been there for some time, Abimelech, king of Philistine, looked down from the window and surprised to see Isaac caressing his wife Rebekah. Abimelech sent out for Isaac and said, "So she is really your wife? How could you say she's my sister?" Isaac answered him, "Because I thought I might die on account of her." Then Abimelech said, "What is this you've done to us? One of the people could have easily slept with your wife, and you would have brought guilt on us." So Abimelech warned all the people, "Whoever harms this man or wife will certainly be put to death." Conflicts over wells. Isaac sowed seed in that land, and in a year he reaped 100 times what he sown. The Lord blessed him, and the man became rich and kept getting richer until he was very wealthy. He had flocks of sheep, herds of cattle, and many slaves. Phil- The Philistines were envious of him. Philistines stopped up all the wells that his father's servants had dug in the days of father Abraham, filling them with dirt. And Abimelech said to Isaac, "Leave us, for you are much too powerful for us." So Isaac left there, camped in the Gerar valley, and lived there. Isaac reopened the wells that had been dug in the days of his father Abraham, and that the Philistines had stopped up after Abraham died. He gave them the same names that his father had given them. Then Isaac's servants dug in the valley and found a well of spring water there. But the herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with Isaac's herdsmen and said, "The water is ours." So he named the well Esek because they argued with them. They also dug another well and quarreled over that one also. So he named it Sitnah. He moved from there and dug another, and they did not quarrel over it. He named it Rehoboth and said, "For now the Lord has made space for us, and we'll be fruitful in the land." The Lord appears to Isaac. From there he went up to Beersheba, and the Lord appeared to him that night and said, "I am the God, father of Abraham. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. I will bless and multiply your offspring because of my servant Abraham." So he built an altar there, called the name of the Lord, and pitched his tent there. Isaac's servants also dug a well there. I want braces. Keeps on bugging me. Covenant with Abimelech. Now Abimelech came from Gerar with Ahazath, his advisor, and Pharaoh, the commander of his army. Isaac said to them, "Why have you come to me? You hated me and sent me away from you." They replied, "We have clearly seen how the Lord has been with you. We think there should be an oath between two parties, between us and you. Let us make a covenant with you. You will not harm us, just as we have not harmed you, but have done only what is good to you. Sending you away in peace, you are now blessed by the Lord." So he prepared a banquet for them, and they ate and drank. They got up early in the morning and swore an oath with each other. Isaac sent them on their way, and they left them in peace. On that same day, Isaac's servants came in to tell him about the well they had dug, saying to him, "We have found water." He called it Sheba. Therefore, the name of the city is still Beersheba today. Esau's wives. When Esau was 40 years old, he took as his wives Judah's daughter of Beeri the Hethite, and Basemath's daughter of Elon the Hethite. They made life better for Isaac and Rebekah. The stolen blessing. When Isaac was old and his eyes were so weak he could not see, he called his older son Esau and said to him, "My son." And he answered, Here I am." He said, "Look, I am old and do not know the day of my death. So now take your hunting gear, your quiver and bow, and go in the field and hunt some game for me. Then make me a delicious meal that I'll love and bring it to me to eat, so I can bless you before I die." Now Rebekah was listening to what Isaac has said to his son Esau. So Esau went to the field to hunt some game to bring in. Rebekah said to her son Jacob, "Listen, I've heard your father talking to your brother Esau. He said, 'Bring me the game and make a delicious meal for me to eat, so I can bless you in the Lord's presence before I die.' Now, my son, listen to me and do what I tell you. Go to a flock and bring me two choice of young goats, and I will make them into a delicious meal for your father, the kind he loves. Then take it to your father to eat, so they may bless you before he dies." Jacob answers Rebekah, his mother, "Look, my brother Esau is a hairy man, but I am a man with smooth skin. Suppose my father touches me. Then I will reveal to him as a deceiver and bring a curse rather than a blessing on myself." His mother said to him, "Your curse will be on me, my son. Just obey me and go get them for me." So he went and got the goats and brought them to his mother. His mother made a delicious food and his father loved. Then Rebekah took the best clothes of her older son Esau, which were in the house, and had the younger son wear them. She put the skins of young goats on his hands and the smooth parts of his neck, and on the smooth parts of his neck. Then he handed him the delicious food and bread she had made to her son Jacob. When he came to his father, said, "My father." He answered, "Here I am. Who are you, my son?" "My son." Jacob replied to his father, "I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done as you told me. Please sit up and eat some of my game so that you may bless me." But Isaac said to his son, "How did you ever find it so quickly, my son?" He replied, "Because the Lord your God has made it happen for me." Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Please come closer so I can touch you, my son. Are you really my son Esau or not?" So Jacob came closer to his father Isaac, and he touched him and said, "The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau." He did not recognize him because his hands were hairy like those of his brother Esau. So he blessed him. Again he asked, "Are you really my son Esau?" And he replied, "I am." Then he said, "Bring him closer to me, and let me eat some of my son's game so that I can bless you." Jacob brought it closer to him, and he ate. He brought him wine, and he drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, "Please come closer and kiss me, my son." So he came closer and kissed him. When Isaac smelled the clothes and blessed him, he said, "Oh, the smell of my son. It's like the smell of a field that my Lord has blessed. May God give you from dew of the sky and from the richness of the land, and abundance of grain and new wine. May people serve you, nations bow and worship to you. Be master over your relatives. May your mother's sons bow and worship to you. Those who curse you will be cursed, those who bless you will be blessed." As soon as Isaac had finished the blessing, Jacob finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob had left the presence of his father Isaac. His brother Esau arrived from hunting. He had also made some delicious food and brought it to his father. He said to his father, My father, get up and eat some of his son's game, so you may bless me. But Father Isaac said to him, Who are you? He answered, I'm Esau, your firstborn son. Isaac began to tremble uncontrollably. Then who was it then, he said, who hunted game and brought it to me? I ate it all before you came in and blessed him indeed. Indeed, he'll be blessed. When Esau heard his father's words, he cried out with a loud, bitter cry and said to his father, Bless me too, my father. But he replied, Your brother came deceitfully and took your blessing. So he said, Isn't he rightly named Jacob? For he cheated me twice now. He took my birthright and look, now taking my blessing. Then he asked, Haven't you saved a blessing for me? But Isaac answered Esau, Look, I have made him master over you, have given him all of his relatives as his servants, and have sustained him with grain and new wine. What then can I do for you, my son? Esau said to his father, You only have one blessing, my father. Bless me too, my father. And Esau wept loudly. His father Isaac answered him, Look, your dwelling place will be away from the riches of the land, away from the dew of the sky above. He'll live by your sword and will serve your brother, but when you rebel, he'll break his yoke from your neck. Esau's anger. Esau Esau held a grudge against Jacob because of the blessings his father had given him, and Esau determined in his heart, the days of the mourning for my father are approaching. Then I'll kill my brother Jacob. When the words of his other son Esau reported to Rebekah, she summoned her younger son Jacob and said to him, Listen, your brother Esau is consoling himself by planning to kill you. So now, my son, listen to me. Flee at once to my brother Laban in Haran, and stay with him for a few days till your brother's anger subsides, until your brother's rage turns away from you and he forgets what you had done to him. Then I'll send for you and bring you back from there. Why should I lose you both in one day? So Rebekah said to Isaac, I am sick of my life because of these Hittite girls. If Jacob marries someone from around here, like these Hittite girls, the good is my life. Shut up. What? Jacob's departure. So Isaac summoned Jacob, blessed him, and commanded him, Do not marry a Canaanite girl. Do not marry a Canaanite girl. Go at once to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel. Your mother and father marry one of the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. May God Almighty bless you, so that you become an assembly of peoples. May God give you and your offspring the blessing of Abraham, so you may possess the land where you live as a foreigner, the land God gave to Abraham. So Isaac sent Jacob to Padan Aram, to Laban son of Bethuel, the Aramean, the brother of Rebekah, the mother of Jacob and Esau. Esau noticed that Isaac blessed Jacob and sent him to Padan Aram to get away from there. When he blessed him, Isaac commanded Jacob, Do not marry a Canaanite girl. And Jacob listened to his father and mother and went to Padan Aram. Esau realized that his father Isaac disapproved of the Canaanite woman. So Esau went to Ishmael and married, in addition to his other wives, Mahalath, daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son. She was the sister of Nebaioth. Jacob at Bethel. Jacob left Beersheba and went towards Haran. He reached a certain place and spent the night there because the sun had set. He took one of the stones from the place, put it there at his head, and lay down in that place. As he dreamed, a stairway was sent on the ground with its top reaching the sky, and God's angels were going up and down on it. The Lord was standing there beside him, saying, I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham, the God of Isaac. I will give you and your offspring the land in which you are lying. Your offspring will be like the dust of the earth. You'll spread out towards the west, the east, north, and south. All the peoples of the earth will be blessed through you and your offspring. Look, I am with you and will watch over you wherever you go. I'll bring you back to this land, for I will not leave until you have done what I promised you." When Jacob awoke from sleep, he said, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." He was afraid and said, "What an awesome place this is! This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven." Early in the morning, Jacob took the stone that was near his head and set it up as a marker. He poured oil on top of it and named the place Bethel, though previously the city that was named Luz. Then Jacob made a vow: "If God will be with me and watch over me during this journey I'm making, if he provides me with food to eat and clothing to wear, then I will return safely to my father's family, then the Lord will be my God. This stone is that I set up as a marker will be God's house, and will give me a tenth that all that you will give me." So that's all for today. I say all, it was 20 minutes. I'm surprised I got done. These are some really long chapters. Because it starts out talking about Abraham's other wives and sons that he had after Sarah died, and then how Abraham died and was buried with Sarah, and then the records of the other son he had, Hagar, Sarah's slave, and then how when Jacob and Esau were born, they were fighting, and God told Rebecca that they were the sons of two different nations. The younger would rule over the older, and so that when they came out, the younger came holding the heel of the other one, Esau, who had super hairy arms and stuff, and Jacob had smooth skin and was not like an outside hunter. Later on, when he grows up to be a good hunter, he came in from being really tired, and Jacob had made a delicious stew. This was all a trick because Esau said, "What can I?" Basically said, "What can I do for that stew?" And he said, "Sell me your birthright." And since Esau was so hungry and tired, he was easily decepted to sell that to him, and so automatically Jacob stole his birthright. And then later on, he overheard about Isaac telling, or Rebecca, his mother, overheard Isaac telling Esau that he should go out and hunt wild game and kill it and cook it and bring it back and make it a delicious meal. And after he eats it, he'll bless him. So Rebecca took some sheep out of the herd and then cooked it up, made a delicious meal, one that she knew Isaac would like. And then Jacob put like the skin of young goats to make his hands and neck and stuff feel hairy, and put on Esau's clothes. Jacob put on Esau's clothes, and then he went in and he did all this stuff, and he got the blessing from Isaac. And then right after that, Jacob came in to get the actual blessing. And when Isaac realized what had been done, he was distressed. After that, Jacob flees, and then he went. And where's there here? He found, but he went to sleep in the place that was called Luz, and then he named it Bethel after God had opened up a stairwell to the ground while he was laying there sleeping, and angels were walking up and down it, and he set out. What does it say? God said something. "I'm the Lord, the God of your father Abraham, the God of Isaac. I'll give you and your offspring the land which you're lying. Your offspring will be like the dust on earth. They'll spread out the west, east, north, south. All the people of earth will be blessed through you and your offspring. Look, I'm with you and will watch over you wherever you go. I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until you have what I promised you." So I told him, like, that's the land where his offspring will spread out from. And so he said he calls it Bethel, and he makes a marker and pours oil on it, and then it kind of ends right about there for today. We'll continue to pick up there from tomorrow, and I gotta make sure I'm not gonna be like yesterday where I kept on saying goodbye. I think this is gonna be it. Remember, God loves you. Goodbye.